Hey everybody, I'm Cheryl Swift, the Duchess of Rock and Roll. I'm here today in St. Louis, Missouri with Melonie Cannon. Hey! Hey girl, hey!
Hey girl.
I have to start by saying it is a thrill to finally have you here in St. Louis.
Oh, I know. I'm glad to be here.
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
So Melonie kind of actually met through our mutual great friend Misty Scott.
Yep, Misty. Yes.
Misty Scott is
Misty.
our friend. Mm-hmm. She's basically your best friend, right?
One of my dearest.
One of the dearest,
yeah.
and she's one of my favorite human beings.
Yeah.
And because of Misty, Mel and I started talking on social media,
Yep.
and I saw you at a few shows, and so now we kind of know each other.
Yeah.
And when I saw you were going to be here today, I wasn't sure if you would have time.
I know, but I'm so glad I
And
saw
we have
you.
time, and
Yes.
here we are on
Here
the
we
bus.
Hanging out.
I'm on Jamey Johnson's bus. No big deal. Just
Yeah.
a normal Thursday in St. Louis.
There
no big
you go.
deal.
Every day.
Exactly
Every
where I'm
day.
supposed to be.
Exactly.
Melanie's like, this is my life.
Yeah.
So one of the questions that I have for you is, you're the only woman in the band,
Yes.
and you are sometimes the only woman in the band of outlaws. You call them something. You call
the
them
outlaw gangsters.
the outlaw gangsters.
And actually, there's an original 4. That would be Jefferson. who's over here.
Jefferson. Hi, Jefferson.
Hey, Jefferson.
He's out of the frame, but he's here.
Yeah, Jefferson is our keyboard player.
Got it.
And our drummer Rob, who's not here anymore, but he was one of the originals, and Chad, our stage manager. So we're still the outlaw gangsters at all times, but sometimes we let a few others get added in.
Okay.
We sprinkle in
I
replacements.
would love to be an honorary
Oh,
outlaw.
We need a picture for sure.
Okay,
We will
good.
do
I'm
that.
gonna get
Yes.
to be an honorary outlaw gangsta
Yes.
in Melanie's crew. Because one of the things I love about you, and especially with being with the boys,
Right.
is number one, your ability to handle yourself as a badass.
Right.
Like
Well, thank you.
I love who you are.
Thank you very much. I don't
And
know how to be different, so that's
right, you're like that. You're one of those. I am what I am,
Yeah.
and you can like it or lump it.
Yeah,
I
and
think.
some people don't like it, but it's
Oh, they
okay.
don't?
Yeah, there's some that don't. You know, ask Jefferson. He only does sometimes.
Oh, Jefferson's getting beat up, and he's off camera.
Oops. Anyway.
So anyway, Bob, edit.
Yeah.
So
Thanks,
anyway, thanks, Bob. So we're here. So how is that for you?
You know, it's funny because I had sisters growing up, so I've never really been around boys.
Right.
I had 2 sons, and now I'm out here with 21 other men. You know, they're boys, a bunch of grown-up boys.
Right.
And it's like having all these brothers that I didn't even know I wanted, and now here they all are, and I don't know what I'd do without them.
Well, and from what I can see on social media, and I know Mart,
Yeah.
and I know a couple other people around and with the band.
Yeah.
They treat you like they call me the Duchess, but you're like the Queen, or you're either another Duchess or a Queen around here.
Something.
Princess doesn't even seem enough for you.
I just love that they love me.
They do, and they
all
take
do.
care of you,
They
and
all
they
do.
lift you up.
Yeah, they
I
all
know that sometimes touring life can be hard,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm sure that the support system around you makes all the difference
Oh,
in the
yeah.
world.
If it wasn't for these exact folks, I don't know what I'd do. You know, I mean, I
Yes.
really don't. We lean on each other a lot.
Right.
A lot.
And it's beautiful to see. I love how open you are
Yeah.
with your life.
Yeah.
And how the boys take care of you. Like, I feel like you're safe on this tour.
Yes, I
Some
am.
people go on tour, I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
This tour,
I don't have to worry.
I mean, I can't imagine someone making Jamey mad.
Well, you know,
Or,
it's,
you know.
one of a funny story. When I first started, I was actually on my own bus. Edit. I'm sorry, Jefferson's making faces. But I was Jamey. We were traveling where he was flying in, but I was meeting him with another bus. So we had 3 buses, and I was always by myself. And one day something happened to one of the buses, and Jamey was like, "I'm just going to put you on the band bus." And he was not, that great with it because he never had a girl on the road.
Deal with the woman on the bus, right.
And I'm his sister, and he takes care of me like his sister. So he carries my bag up onto the bus up here on Gladiator, sits it down, and said, "Y'all watch out for her." And they're like, "Oh, we will, we will." He was like, "No, y'all better watch the F out for her because she will get you."
Yes.
Like, in other words, he was warning them.
Yes.
You don't have to take care of her, but she will get you. You better watch out
Right.
for her.
Oh, right. He was warning them about you.
Don't mess with her.
Yes, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Some of the bands, like I feel that way, like when I'm around Blackberry Smoke.
Mm-hmm.
The whole crew knows me.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago, we were at a show, and a fight broke out, and Charlie saw they were coming at my daughter, and he stopped the show. So there are bands where I feel safe, even if I'm not with the band. The friendships that I've made, Charlie was not letting anything happen to my daughter. And the next day, he came outside to talk to me at a venue and moved us to VIP, because that place was well known for outlaw, crazy, drunk. And five men got arrested that night and kicked out. So Charlie was like, I can't let that happen to your daughter. So these guys, they come across as badass outlaws, but they're also the one people I want in my corner.
The most loyal folks you'll ever know.
Yes,
they would do anything. We take care of each other out here. You have to take care of each other out here
because it's your family. It's that simple. And when it's not, then you go home.
Now, I'm newly single now too, after 20 years. And Jamey, the other day, I came out ready for the show, and he said, "Why are you so dressed up? What are you doing?" I said, "We got a show." He said, "Are you trying to get a job?" And I said, "I already have a job. I'm trying to get a man." And he went, "That's going to be hard." He said, "Well, who's going to walk up in this group of people and be like, I'm going to take her on a date?" He's like, "Yeah, you'll probably be single for a while." So I'm like, "Oh, great. Awesome. Thanks, Jamey."
You're like, meet my 17 brothers. Now, if you can get through the line.
Who do you want to ask first?
Right. You want to ask, what do you call Jamey? You just call him Jamey?
Beard, usually.
The Beard. Yeah. I know people call him that, but I was like, what do you call him?
I call him Beard. Okay. I mean, there are moments where he's my brother.
Right.
So,
like, I have this fear of meeting Sturgill Simpson. Like, do I call him Stu, Sturge?
Yeah, what do
I
they
met him
call him?
once.
I don't know.
They call him Stu and Sturge.
Stu?
But the night I met him, I was like, he was standing next to my car, and I go, "Oh my God, I love you." I love your music. Shit. And he goes, "Oh, I like you." Because I got starstruck. I do this for a living.
Right.
I don't usually get starstruck, but Sturgill walked up to my car, and I did not expect that.
He walked up, the only time I've ever really talked to him, he walked up to me in Austin. I've never met him before. And it was him and Shooter Jennings, and they walked straight to me like they were on a mission, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what's happening? Why are they coming to me? And said, "Hey, are you Buddy's daughter?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "They told me to come ask you for rolling papers." I was like, "What?"
You're like, how did Buddy lead to rolling papers?
Yeah, I guess they were.
That's so funny.
So here comes Waylon's son and Sturgill looking for rolling papers from me. So I was like, "Sorry, I didn't have any. I'll go get you some." But
that's funny. I have yet to meet Shooter, but I've met a few of his friends. And I met Jessie last year, and I cried. Couldn't hold it in. She's, leading lady of.
I sit and listen to her every time.
That Psalms album,
it's so emotional.
and
it's emotional.
And her, first of all, Waylon, Shooter, but that album and her spirituality. I just interviewed Chris Hennessy of your band, and we were talking about Jesus and spirituality and outlaws, and how Jessie was with the ultimate outlaw, but yet her spirituality and her faith in God, carried her through. And so, anyway, it's just so interesting the way it ebbs and
people
flows.
Don't understand what outlaw is.
I know. Chris and I were saying Jesus would have been the biggest of the outlaws.
He was.
Amen, right?
He was. He really was. But the thing is that when you say outlaw, it's about going against the system. It's not about going to jail.
Right. And I think people have I think there's a huge misconception. Because I've been asked before, and it offends me. Why are you hanging out with all those bearded hippies? And I said, well, here's the thing. I've hung out with the suits, the preppies, and the bearded hippies. And the people I'm least afraid with are the bearded hippies. Because Cody Jinks, Charlie Starr, Jamey Johnson, even though he doesn't know me, if something were happening, he would step in and save me.
Immediately.
And those are the people who've become my people, ironically. And I love it. And I think you're right. People, the definition of outlaw and the things they say about, the big, I call this the country roots revival. Jamey, Cody, Shooter, Ward, all the people. Isn't it beautiful? Because, and here's a segue right into your daddy. Your daddy is
Buddy Cannon,
and your daddy has written some of the most well-known.
I always say "Set 'em up, Joe." I mean, that's all. If you can just say "Set 'em up, Joe," and go
see,
with
that makes me want to cry.
Oh, it's so
your dad. You come from legendary stock. But I also don't like to say this is Buddy Cannon's daughter.
See, the older I get, the more proud I am.
But you're so much more to me. You are.
Thank you.
And recently, I don't know. Someone said, "Well, she's." Jamey Johnson's backup singer, and I was like, oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
Comma.
Yeah.
Mel, and I let them have your resume.
Yeah.
Because
right.
I'm also that. I mean, I love Arnold McCuller, David Lasley, Kate McCarowitz, Andrea Zahn.
I was made to sing harmony. I was.
Right.
I know this. It was what God put me here for. So if you're going to think that's a bad thing, then I'm sorry.
And I'm like,
I think it's pretty epic.
Yeah, are you saying that as a compliment, or you think that's a put down? Because she's amazing, and a lot of songs you're listening to of our friends, she's that girl vocal. She's the female vocal, so step off.
Yeah, somebody was kind of give me a little social media, stuff about the background singer thing a couple days ago, and somebody said, are they going to now challenge your credibility? And I'm like, that'll be fun.
You're like, come on, baby.
Come on, I'm not really too scared.
Right. I mean, you've really done so much lately. Like I saw you at Kendell's party when Chris Shiflett and Chris and Eddie and
what a great band
that night.
Yep, Heidi Newfield was there that night.
Yes, and then Ray Scott wasn't out there, but he was there.
Ward sang.
Yes, everybody.
Yeah,
it was a who's who of Nashville. I was supposed to go to another person's CD release party, and Kendell sent me a note and said, don't miss tonight. And I said, I can't miss Travis's party. So I went to Travis Meadows' party and got Patrick and said, I love you.
One of my favorite humans is Travis.
Oh my God, the video for Underdogs came out today.
I haven't seen it yet. I got to go watch.
Travis Meadows changed the way I see life.
Yeah.
I mean, I could cry. I love him so much. He's my friend, which makes it even better. But to see Kenny Chesney release that song Friday, I mean...
Yeah.
To see my friends get commas in paychecks. Levi Lowry with Colder Weather. Yeah. Travis with that. Travis has
had a couple.
Yeah. Well, Riser and What We Ain't Got and Leonard Skinner and Winona. When you see your friends getting success, I mean, you know so many more people than I do. What's that like for you?
It's one of the craziest but coolest things ever to get to see. I mean, I have friends that have been doing this their whole lives and never had anything. And then ones that come into town and, things happen immediately and you just never know. There's no rhyme or reason. No, there is none. But when it happens, we get to celebrate each other like Jamey. This week we've got all these kids out here. Right. One of the main reasons is there's this Peyton Smith, 19 years old, singer-songwriter, that Jamey wants him out here in front of people. And so now it's not just... a Jamey show, it's Jamey and the family. The kids, I mean, there's seven little kids out here, and then Peyton's already 19, so there's a couple of older ones too. But man, it's a... And
that's the other thing I appreciate.
You give it back.
Yes.
You keep giving it back.
Our friends, Sturgill brings Cody out, Cody brings Ward out, Ward brings Sonny out. It begets it. When people get the power of community as opposed to the power of being an individual, especially in music, and you see it, it changes everything. And that's what I call the country roots revival. Is there's this resurgence of what I would call more in-depth lyric. We'll just go with that. I don't like to put other people down.
I'm with you though.
But I see this, I see that this resurgence is so inclusive as opposed to exclusive, and that's beautiful.
It's a great thing.
You look at Chris Hennessy's album, and you and all these other people, Allison Krauss, the Wild Feathers kids.
Yes, they were on there too.
Yeah, and it's a delicious combination that makes it work. And you get to sing backup on some of the
coolest stuff ever.
I know.
Some of the coolest stuff ever. I mean, there's been, this year I've sang on a lot of records with people I've never sang with before. Like a lot of these fellas that are this, people that I'm just meeting in the last year or two because of the Jamey job, being out on the road with him, and sang on Randy Houser's new record this, for the first time.
Oh, he's such a nice guy.
Oh my gosh, it was a beautiful. Look at I'm showing my bruises off, my pillow fight bruises. Yeah, sorry, I'm aggressive.
That's bus stuff.
I'm aggressive. I don't like to lose.
Randy Houser, I met him last year, and he was so kind.
Such a great
He played.
Singer. Oh.
My friend Ashley McBride opened for him. Look at Ashley. Look at how she's skyrocketing.
See, one of my best friends on the planet plays in her band, Chris Harris.
Chris is your friend?
Oh yeah, one of my dearest friends. He's the only person in all of my life of living and being in the music business my whole life. He's the only person I've ever told that should move to Nashville. I told him, you need to come to Nashville. Yeah.
And Andrew Sovine, who is Red Sovine's grandson, he played on my friend Joe Austin's record.
Wow, so it's small
And
world.
it's, you know, I just went in the studio with Joe and Tom McIlvaine in December to record Tom's new album, to be the historian. So I recorded it and wrote about it and for Tom.
Nice, yeah.
And so Tom goes back to Cody. It's you know, it seems like a big world, but when you're in it, it's a small world because you're connected to Chris, I'm connected to Ashley.
Yeah.
Like one of my best friends, Joe, is connected to Andrew.
Yeah.
It all is circular.
Family.
Yes.
It's already family by default. And then we get to know each other, and then it's like,
then it's even better. Yeah. I'm like, I was coming out of an interview, and she's like, "Oh, Cheryl, oh my gosh, what are you doing here? Let's go do an interview." I was like, "Okay," because I hadn't been able, you know, I just had it. I ran out of time, and I wasn't sure if you'd want to do that. Yeah, I was like, "There's Mel.
Yep.
This is awesome."
No makeup. Well, last night's makeup.
But you know what? You have that hat on. You're gonna look great.
Look like it was intentional.
You're right. You're always so cute. Anyway, I just think the world of you. Like you really inspire me because I know life has thrown you some curveballs.
Yeah.
And I gathered from social media. I did not ask any questions. The last few months were hard.
Yeah.
And you know, I pray when I know I can see that people are struggling. But the thing I love about you is your persistence and your toughness. And there's this new song by B.J. Barnum and American Aquarium called Tough Folks.
Okay, I gotta hear it.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You inspire me to be a better person.
Thank you.
That
makes me want to cry.
You do have a gypsy soul, but you also have a beautiful, loving heart song inside of you that comes out.
Thank you.
And I appreciate who you are and that you're like best friends with one of my best friends.
Right.
Just that makes us soul sisters. Like, it's
smaller.
like I'm like, oh, Mel's here, you know, because I know how much Misty loves you, and so I appreciate you.
We help each other through tough stuff.
Yes. Misty will always text or call right at the exact moment I need her.
She knows, man. She knows.
That woman is something spectacular.
I've introduced her to one of my dear friends, Father Matthew. So now,
Father Matthew is your friend.
That's how he came into this picture. And actually, Father Matthew's been a fan of my bluegrass music for a while. So he knew me before I actually knew him, and I never met him face to face until out here, until I started traveling 2.5 years ago with Jamey. And now it's like seeing him with his own
connection.
So I kind of brought him into this little fold, and Misty just happened to be there once when he was with us. And
isn't it a beautiful? It's a beautiful thing when music brings people together.
Yeah.
Because the friendships I have formed, and I think you'll agree with this, have changed my life. About 5 years ago, one of my friends died unexpectedly, and I had to fly to New York the next morning. I was going to be on Good Morning America. Zach Brown had a lottery, and I got to go.
Gotcha.
And afterwards, I fell apart and drove around New York City, and I was like, what am I doing with my life? Like, what makes me happy? And I have...
Storm.
Is that rain?
Yeah.
We have a rainstorm here in St. Louis right now. So I decided to follow my passion and do the blog.
Yeah.
Because my dream is to have people's voices heard. It's not about me or promoting me. I'm just a little girl from the middle.
Yes.
But what I want is for people to hear the stories about what makes all of you so real. And not just the person up there, you know?
It's a cool thing to get to do.
So I chose that day in New York City.
Yeah,
I was like, I'm going to do that. So. Well, it's raining here in St. Louis, folks, and we got a show to get ready for.
I know. I need a shower still.
She's got a shower. So I'm Cheryl Swift, the Duchess of Rock and Roll. This is Melonie Cannon, and she's so much more than a backup singer. This gal is special beyond belief. We're here in St. Louis. We're getting ready. We're hoping this storm passes soon. We wish you all peace, love, and rock and roll.
Peace.